Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody, and welcome to STEAM Storytime. Yes, so this is our regularly scheduled 11 o'clock STEAM Storytime that we do every Wednesday, and we talk about different topics related to STEAM. So if you don't know, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, or Environment, Art, and Math, and those are the concepts that we look at every single week. So let me flip over the camera and we'll get started because today's STEAM Storytime is a little bit different. Let me just flip over. Hi, everybody. How's it going? My name is Kasia and I'm from the Niagara-on-the-Lake Library, and this is STEAM Storytime. So thank you for joining me again on Wednesday morning. And if you are able to stay the whole time, that's wonderful. We love to have you here. And if you can't stay the whole time, don't worry. All of our STEAM Storytimes go up on our library's YouTube channel. So if you're a teacher or a parent or anyone who'd like to use our STEAM Storytimes in any programming or education focus, feel free to visit our YouTube channel and you can use them in your classroom, in your homeschool room, wherever you'd like. Oops, sorry, made the camera jump. So we will get started with today's topic. And what we're going to be looking at, what we're going to be talking about are numbers. I thought I would maybe go back to basics this week. And we're going to read two books, actually, about numbers and also about some engineering ideas. Yes, so that's a perfect thing for STEAM. So why don't we get started? Oh, one more thing. I always forget. Yes, I'm at the library. If we get interrupted, no big deal. It will just make the day more exciting and the STEAM Storytime more exciting. And also, if for any reason my internet is being silly, and I have to drop for a second, I will do my best to come back. And if not, I will just finish recording this as a video and then upload it to our YouTube channel afterwards. And don't forget, if you're watching and you don't want to say hi or you want to let me know something exciting, there's the comment section there, and I can see it right in front of me. You can write some stuff or have an adult write some stuff, and I'll say hi to you or answer your questions live on STEAM Storytime. So why don't we get started with today's first book? Well, I always do the opposite side. So we'll go over this way a little bit more. So today's book, what we're going to start with, is called 10 Birds, and it's written by Sibel Young, and it was published in 2011 by Kids Can Press. So this is the book that we're going to use in our STEAM Storytime today, and it already has a number in the title. It has 10 in it, so it's a perfect book to use for our STEAM Storytime. I really like this book, and it's available here at the library for you to borrow. I really like this book because even though it's in black and white, the pictures are awesome. They're so detailed, and there's so many cool things going on. It's definitely one of those books that every time you look, you'll find something different in it. Okay, so let's get started with 10 Birds by Sibel Young, published in 2011 by Kids Can Press. So thank you very much for letting us use this awesome book in our STEAM Storytime today. Okay, so here is the first page, and this first page actually doesn't have any words, but let's take a look. There are some birds. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 birds, and they are headed towards, it looks like, some contraptions and some inventions. So maybe we'll take a look at what those are throughout the story. Oh, more pictures of the contraptions a little bit up closer. So I'll put them close to the camera so you guys can see. Can anyone spot any numbers? Or letters even? I see a couple letters, but we can talk about that afterwards. Okay, let's get started. So, 10 birds were trying to figure out how to get to the other side of the river. So there's a bridge, and there's the river. And what number is that? 10. The one they called Brilliant knew how to cross. Marching, he left 9 behind. So 10, take away 1 is 9. That's right. And look at this bird named Brilliant. He's using those things to get across. Does anyone know what those are called? Those are stilts. So he's using stilts to walk across the bridge. So Brilliant is using stilts. The one they called Quite Advanced engineered her way. Bubbling, she left 8 behind. So 9 take away 1 is 8. See how that 8 is made out of 2 wheels, but it's still an 8. So those are some of those hidden numbers we're going to talk about. Now this bird here, look, she's using a contraption that kind of has paddles because this is the river and she's bubbling her way over. So she's paddling and using the water and the paddles to get across. The one they called Magnificent had an idea. Swooshing, he left 7 behind. So look, this one is Magnificent, and he or she has made, what's that called? That's a kite. Yep, there's a kite, and that is how Magnificent the bird is getting across the bridge or the river. The one they called Shows Great Promise figured it out. Squeaking, she left 6 behind. So look, she has a pulley, kind of like a wheel on a rope, and that's how she's getting across the river. So I forgot to do what 7 minus 1 is 6, just like that. The one they called Extraordinary found a solution. Floating, he left 5 behind. So 6 take away 1 is 5. Yep, and look at that. The bird has made himself a little basket, kind of like a floating hot air balloon, except with many balloons. So he's using, not really using gravity, defying gravity to go over. He's floating over the river. The one they called Outstanding devised a plan. Launching, she left 4 behind. So 5 take away 1 is 4. And look, there's a 4 right there. And that 4 is actually a catapult. Can you see that up close? So this part here would go backwards and the bird would get in it and it would shoot the bird over the river, just like that. Actually, that would be a cool scheme to make. Steam Storytime, we can make catapults one day. The one they called Highly Satisfactory had little trouble. Drifting, he left 3 behind. So 4 take away 1 is 3. And that is how he used a fan, Highly Satisfactory used a fan to make a raft that would push him across the river, kind of like a little boat. So the one they called Exceptional thought it was simple. Swinging, she left 2 behind. So 3 take away 1 is 2. There's the 2. And look, this is a crane that this bird used. She tied herself to the rope. She would swing and swing and swing. And when she was ready, she would let go. And she would kind of float over. Maybe fly, because they are birds. I wonder why they're not flying over the river. The one they called Remarkable came up with the design. Flapping, he left 1 behind. So look, that one is flying, but he made himself some extra wings, some extra strong wings, some wing expansions. So he is flying over the river. Let's see what happens next. Oh, I forgot to do. 2 take away 1 is 1. So what's left? 1 take away 1 is what? It's 0. And I think that's what we have here. And the one they called Needs Improvement got to the other side just the same, leaving none behind. So there's 0 birds left, and this bird just walked across the bridge. That was a solution that was always there. And sometimes the simple things you forget to think about, and you make things really complicated and difficult, but this bird knew exactly what to do, just walk across the bridge over the river. Awesome. Now this is one of my favorite pages because it shows all the different contraptions and all the different inventions that these birds made. So can you see the 10? Let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. Awesome. And all those birds are now across the river, and 0's kind of heading over right there. And now they flew away. Okay, so this was 10 birds by Sibel Young, and it was published in 2011 by Kids Can Press. So thank you very much for letting us use this quirky little book in our STEAM Storytime today. So I actually have something I want to show you. I have a couple pictures because in this book, there were hidden numbers, right? We saw the numbers in the contraptions here, right here. But there's also places around your house and in your house and around you that you will be able to find some hidden numbers. So I'm going to switch over the camera because you can find numbers all over in nature, just like that. So look, let's see if we can count these. They only go up to 8, not to 10, but we have a 0, which is a hole in the ground. There's a 1 that's made out of acorns. There is a 2 that is made out of, it looks like a pine bow. 3 is made out of some grass. 4 and 5 look like they're made out of bark. 6 is drawn in the sand. 7 is made out of, by cutting out some moss. And 8, I think, is made out of stones. So those are some hidden numbers that you can maybe find in nature, or you can make them. So there are many different things that if you go on a nature scavenger hunt today, you can get some different things and see if you can make some different numbers using different materials. And I really like this. They look really cool. They're really nice. Okay, so we have one more book, and instead of doing an activity today, I have a second book that we're going to read. And the activity is still something we can do together, but we're going to practice writing and drawing our numbers. So I have this book here. It's called Mr. Snail's Counting Trails. And I'm going to use my finger to draw the numbers. And that's what I would like you to do along with me. Now, if drawing in the air like this is hard, see I'm drawing a 1. If that's tricky for you, you can draw on the table. If you want to run and get a piece of paper and a marker or a pencil, you can draw the numbers along with me. It's always good to practice these so that we can memorize them, so that we can use them whenever we need them, and it won't be hard for us to think about them, right? That's how we learn stuff, by practicing. So let's start with the book. And this is a pretty cool book too. You can actually borrow this from our library as well. So it's called Mr. Snail's Counting Trails, and it was published in 2018 by Make Believe Ideas Limited. I love the name of that publishing company, Make Believe Ideas Limited. So thank you very much for letting us use this book in our STEAM Storytime today. And it was actually illustrated by Stuart Lynch. So he did all the pictures in this book. So let's get started. And I love this because it's a little bit sparkly. Okay. Mr. Snail delivers mail. Count with him along his trail. So for number 1, go straight down for number 1. So let's do number 1, just like that. And if you don't want to have a little stick at the top, you can just push right down, just like that. This will be a lot of fun. Let's see who's under here. How old is the mouse? Well, there's 1 candle, so that means the mouse is 1 year old. Around the flower, and then through. So to do a number 2, let's go like that. Ready? So we go round like that, and then a 2, just like this. Who lives here at number 2? Point to 2 flowers. 1, 2. 2 ladybugs live at number 2. Now we're off to number 3. Let's trace the path around each tree. So there's 2 trees. Ready? So go around like that and around like that. So that's how we do a 3. Now let's see who's under this tree. How many acorns are on the ground? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Now what number is this? Number 4. Let's see how it tells us how to make this number. Down and right, then down some more. Underground is number 4. So you go down, across, and then a little stick down to make a number 4. Can you see 4 carrots? Let's see. Oh, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carrots right there. What number is this? Number 5. Let's practice. Down and around, then across to a hive. What's the buzz at number 5? So there's 2 different ways. I always make my 5s by starting at the top and making the corner here, and then a loop at the bottom. But this one is saying start here with the loop, and then make a corner here. So it's up to you, however you decide to make your numbers. But that's number 5. What's the buzz at number 5? How many bees live here? There are 5. Curve around the pile of sticks. who could be at number 6? So to make a 6, we start with a line, curve it around until you come right back to that line, and that's how you make a 6. So you go like this, around, and back there. So let's practice that together. Cool. Oh, who could be at number 6? How could we forget this part? Count the little chicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 little chicks. Okay, we've got a few more numbers. What number is this? 7, that's right. Along the top, slide down for 7. Mr. Snail's in sandwich heaven. I wonder what that means. Let's see. Oh, point to 7 sandwiches. So he is in the anthill, and he's having sandwiches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, sometimes what the book says, you have to see, you have to investigate to find what's going on, so you find the answer. So that's how we draw 7. 7's pretty easy. Right across, right down, like a slide. What number is this one? Does anybody know? Number 8. Around the webs to number 8. Mr. Snail is running late. So let's see why. What's in here? How many legs does a spider have? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 legs. Now, 8s are fun because they kind of go around and around like this. So see how I start at the top? I go down and loop around, then go back up to the top until I meet where I started. Now, another way you can make 8s is if you do 2 circles right on top of each other. So one like this, one like that, but they only touch at the bottom of this one, at the top of this one. So it's like the beginning of a snowman. 2 more numbers. Around, then down the fishing line. This male is for number 9. So that's how we make a 9. We do a circle and then a stick. Or sometimes you can start at the bottom. It's like a reverse 6. So you start here and you go like this and loop around till you start at your line. So you draw straight up, around, and touch that line, and then you have a 9. Let's see what's in here. Oh, male for fish. Can you see 9 fish? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, our last number. Down and then around for number 10. Mr. Snail is home again. Let's see what's under here. Oh, a thank you card. Let's see. Thank you for our lovely mail. You're the best, Mr. Snail. From all of your friends. XXX. That means kiss, 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 or hug, hug, hug. So this is how we make a 10. We do a line to make a number 1, and then we make a nice little circle, and that's how we make number 10. So we went through all the numbers from 1 to 10 using Mr. Snail's counting trails. So I hope you practiced along with me, and it's always good to practice your numbers. You can actually make some really cool art with numbers. So that again was Mr. Snail's Counting Trails, illustrated by Stuart Lynch, published in 2018 by Make Believe Ideas Limited. So thank you for using this really cool board book actually in our STEAM Storytime today. Okay, so that's our STEAM Storytime. Oh, before we go though, I do have one more hidden number, some nature numbers I wanted to show you, just like that. So these ones, like I said, you can do this at home. So this is one of the activities that you can do after you have a nature scavenger hunt together. But these ones are done with flowers. We're in fall. We don't really have many flowers though. We do have lots of very beautiful colored leaves, and we have lots of walnuts and acorns and things that fall from trees. There's some pretty stones if you go by the lakes. So these are some ways that you can make your nature numbers. And I would love to see pictures of them. So if you do make some nature numbers today or this week, I'd love to see pictures of them. So have your parents send your pictures to me at kdupuy@notlpl.org, and I will post them on our social media channels because I love showing off the amazing work that you do. So thank you for practicing your numbers with me. Thanks for tuning in for this week's STEAM Storytime, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Okay, we'll see you back here next week, 11 o'clock for STEAM. Have a great Wednesday. All right, let me just do this. And, and also, remember, if you were able to only catch part of this, this will be on our YouTube channel afterwards with all of our other STEAM Storytimes. I think that there's something like 25 different STEAM Storytimes you can watch. Okay, have a great Wednesday, everybody. Bye.